Today we're going to be diving into the Arizona Cardinals versus Green Bay Packers Week 6 aftermath. Arizona Cardinals go into Lambeau Field and absolutely get embarrassed. And a lot of Cardinal fans are using the quote, "the same old Cardinals." Let's go ahead and dive into exactly what happened. And can the Arizona Cardinals come back from this loss? Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We are on the road to 15K, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe it up, it's absolutely for free. But let's go and dive right into it, everybody. Let's talk about the Week 6 aftermath for Cardinals versus the Green Bay Packers. And honestly, we are in a very, very weird state right now. I know some people want to call this a rebuild, but I have a hard time saying that this is a rebuild when you're paying a franchise quarterback $200 million, right? So it almost kind of seems like a tale of two different, kind of stories, right? You got a franchise quarterback that we're paying $200 million. And then on top of that, you got a front office that used this offseason like a year two rebuild. So it almost kind of feels very weird. You hear Kyler Murray saying bet the over on 6.5, which is still attainable. But then again, right, the players that we brought in this free agent market, none of them really have panned out for the Cardinals with the exception of Mack Wilson Sr. He literally is the only player that I really do like in this free agency class. There's a lot of Cardinal fans right now that are at the edge of, I'm about ready to quit on this team. Like, seriously, it's gotten to this point because we have had some obviously good things to talk about this 2024 Arizona Cardinal team, but it does feel like the Cardinals take a step forward, but take 2-3 steps back, right? The only consistent team about this organization or this team in 2024 is that they're inconsistent with what they're doing. How do you come off an absolute great win against a division rival and a potential Super Bowl contending team or even a playoff team like the 49ers and then lay a goose egg in Green Bay, right? Now, if you look at the stats here, I do think it's a little skewed, right? Now, I'm one of those guys that feel like everybody deserves a blame as to what happened in this game versus Green Bay, right? I know there's a portion of fans saying, they like to blame the fact that, it's not all on Kyler. I don't think it's all on Kyler either, but I do believe that there is enough blame to go around that everybody deserves a piece of the humble pie, right? Whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's Drew Petzing, whether this offensive line, especially on that right side, the wide receiving core, it doesn't seem like they're really doing very much right now. It all kind of stems around what's going on with this offense. They're supposed to be the bright spot, right? And I'm not even going to get started here on the defense. The defense are kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as well. We don't know what type of defense is going to come out. Like, we just do not know what it's going to look like. But I want to go ahead and paint a picture for you guys here real quick. In the first half, when the Arizona Cardinals blinked their eyes and it was about, 3 or 4 minutes left in the half before we actually scored those 10 points, the Arizona Cardinals stats were 15 plays, 35 yards. We had time of possession was 7 minutes and 35 seconds to the Green Bay Packers, 33 plays, 251 yards in 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, obviously, when you dig yourself into a hole that big, and obviously, like I said, being down 24-0 is a big hole to try to climb out of, especially if your defense can't stop an offense like the Green Bay Packers. You're going to have a hard time obviously coming back into a game. But before the Cardinals scored their 10 points, there was a graphic here that I ended up seeing here on Fox, and I was looking at Kyler Murray's stats for this game. Now, please keep in mind here, Kyler Murray ended off this game with 22 of 32, 214, 1 touchdown, right? So when you look at that, you're like, it's not that big of a deal, right? But the amount of, productivity that we've seen in this first half from this offense, and I mean the offense as a whole, is very bad. It's very bad. Kyler Murray's stats at the 2 minute and 51 second mark in the second quarter was 2 for 7, 18 yards. And that was after we started to try to get, Trey McBride involved because, Marvin Harrison Jr. already went down. He was being evaluated for concussion. And it almost kind of makes me beg to question, is this offense not getting these wide receivers involved or why? I just don't understand, right? This offense was supposed to be the next best thing since sliced bread. But what it does feel like is that this Arizona Cardinals offense is that it's focusing down on one player. And if that one player succeeds, we're feeding that player to the T, whether that's going to be James Conner, And if James Conner makes a catch or a really good run, it's James Conner for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 straight times. And that's what we've seen here with Trey McBride in terms of why he had such inflated numbers, because Trey McBride was catching every ball he possibly could, right? He had 8 receptions, 96 yards. He had a really, really good game. Amari DeMarcado was the next guy with the receiving yards with 5 receptions, 39 yards. And then Greg Dortch with 3 receptions, 36 yards. So when you're looking at our wide receiving core right now, you have Michael Wilson with 2 receptions, 21 yards. And a touchdown. And then, of course, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. with no catches because he ended up leaving the game early. And there is a level of concern from me with Marvin Harrison Jr. In terms of the connection between him and Kyler Murray. It just ain't there. I don't understand it. I don't get it, right? I don't get paid to try to figure this out, but I really do hope that the people that are, the leaders within this locker room, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., this front office, the coaching staff, Drew Petzing, whoever you want to say, I hope they figure this out, because so far we've seen in 6 weeks, we've seen one good game. And that's the Rams game, because he went absolutely off, and we all thought that might have been, okay, this is a generational talent that we were all promising that we were going to get. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not out on Marvin Harrison Jr. I still do think he's the best 4th overall pick that we got, and I'm so glad that we got him. It's just 6 games in right now, and I know there's some people out there saying, oh, it was a bad pick. No, it's not a bad pick. He's a rookie. He's got to get accustomed to the NFL. It's completely different than the collegiate level, so I'm not out on him, but there is a level of concern between the connection with Kyler and Marvin. Hey, have you heard of NFL All Day? This really cool way to collect and own official NFL highlights. You can collect some of the biggest plays in football, and now they're even adding the top rookies, just like Marvin Harrison Jr. and others from this year's 2024 draft class. Basically, you buy a pack with moments, like a touchdown or a game-changing interception, and each one of them is unique. They're all tied to a blockchain, so it's like owning a piece of the NFL that's totally yours. Plus, with the new rookie class added, you can pull a moment from one of the league's rising stars right from the start. What's awesome is that you can hold on to them or trade and sell them with other collectors. Some of the rarer moments, especially those from breakout rookies, can go up in value. So it's not all about collecting. Also a fun way to invest in the future of the game, and there are always new challenges and events where you can earn even more moments. It really feels like you're a part of the NFL community. In one of my vintage packs, I was able to pull the incredible Aeneas Williams with a huge pick 6 in the 1999 against the now Commanders. For my most recent packs, I was able to pull Marquise Hollywood Brown in 2023 taking an end-around pass against the Commanders, and Rondale Moore taking a pitch out of the backfield against the Seattle Seahawks. Seriously, now is the perfect time to jump in. Grab a pack and see what you pull. Come on over to NFL All Day right now, and let's get started. I said this before, they should lock them in a room and put the film on until they know exactly what's going on, right? What routes everybody should be running, because it almost does feel like every game there is a throw from Kyler or Marvin Harrison Jr. looking lost. There just needs to be a better connection between them two, and why it's not there yet, it's concerning. It really is. So this game in a nutshell, right? Where does this put the Arizona Cardinals at right now? Now, the unfortunate part is that the Cardinals had an opportunity to really make a statement game ahead of them, right? They really had an opportunity here. If they won this game, we would have skyrocketed to the top of the division at 3-3. Unfortunately, the Cardinals seem to only be able to beat NFC West teams. Obviously, we beat the Rams, and then we beat the 49ers. So now we stay 2-4. So now we are 3rd in the division behind the Seahawks and behind the San Francisco 49ers, which are at their rightful spot. Now, the beautiful part is that this NFC West, nobody's running away, right? Nobody's running away with this division right now. So it's still completely open. Now, what we need to see is a lot better performance that we've seen in Green Bay, right? We've already seen 2 beatdowns that I don't want to see ever again. I don't want to see it ever again, right? We saw the Commanders an absolute beatdown, and then we saw this Green Bay Packers an absolute beatdown, right? The Cardinals only scored 13 points, right? And at that point, the game was kind of already said and done. The Cardinals could not get out of their own way, whether it was the James Conner fumble, whether it was the Greg Dortch fumble. It just seemed like any chance we had to get back into this game, the Green Bay Packers was there saying, no, you're not gonna get back into this game. They put a chokehold on the Arizona Cardinals, and you got to give them credit, right? You got to give them credit, because the Green Bay Packers had a very, very, very good game plan against Kyler, and this offense just didn't look to be a good offense at all. It didn't look to be a good offense. Now, I know right now a lot of us are doing a lot of soul searching as Cardinal fans, right? Who's to blame? Is it Kyler? Is it Drew Petzing? Is it Jonathan Gannon? Is it this, and that, right? I think everybody deserves a share of blame. Now, the most important thing is that it's not important who's to blame. The most important thing is who's going to fix it. Who's going to find the solution and resolve the issue that we're been dealing with, right? Like I said, this is not something that we just woke up one day and said, oh, the Cardinals are struggling with the offense. No, the bright spot of this team was supposed to be the offense. That was supposed to be the bright spot. Instead, we are seeing a sloppy performance from the offense, and that's not even to mention the penalties that the Cardinals went through this game. The penalties were so bad. We were probably one of the best unpenalized teams heading into this game. And of course, right, let's choose a day that makes sense, right, for our Cardinals to have the most penalties you possibly could put up in a game. We had 13 penalties, 100 yards. Like, that's unacceptable. It really is. I mean, that's not even just talking about the third down efficiency. The third down efficiency for the Cardinals is continuing to be a problem. We were 4 for 10, while the Green Bay Packers were 7 for 12, right? You don't have to look very far in the numbers to know exactly what happened in this game. So, a lot of things to unfold in this game. Here. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are in a situation that they can rebound, but we got to get off the scenario of, okay, we won a good game, continue to build off it, right? Because we're hearing Jonathan Gannon say all these things, right? All these things that you want to hear, but we're not seeing the results on the field. This year was supposed to be about, we are not going to be dealing with these beatdowns anymore, right? We're not going to look like a bad team anymore. I get it. The Cardinals won't win 10 plus games, right? But we do not want to be in a level where we're seeming to regress the more deeper we go into, the season. That's where we don't want to find ourselves in, because at the end of the day, culture is built, obviously, right, with the things that you say, with the things that people believe. But if winning is not occurring, at some point, these players are just going to turn off, right? Whether that's the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. So whatever it is, it needs to get fixed quickly, because I think that everybody deserves a slice of humble pie in this game. And I just hope that the Arizona Cardinals get it corrected, because at the end of the day, this is not a good feeling for Cardinal fans. It's leaving us with a very bad taste in our mouths. Let's see what we do on Monday Night Football versus the Chargers. Can we bounce back? Of course we can, right? Any given Monday. All right, everybody, thank you so very much for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals.